5 years ago, when I was in junior high, I lost a friend. The official cause was mental illness, but the truth was that he was possessed by something. For me, it's a memory I'd rather forget, but recently I had a chance to talk with an old friend and vividly remembered that time. I think writing about it here might help me view it more objectively and forget the fear, so I will share our story. We, A, B, C, D, and I, were all expected to take over family businesses, so while others were busy with high school entrance exams, we had time to spare. Our school, thinking we wouldn't disturb the exam students, rarely scolded us for skipping after the sports festival as long as we showed up in the morning. One day, friends A and B heard about a nearby mansion. The newly renovated house was now vacant after the owner hung himself, leading his family to scatter. Struggling to find a new hangout where we could freely smoke and drink, we decided to skip school the next day and headed there. The mansion was grand, hidden from outside view, making us hesitant, but A and B confidently let us inside, having found a back door open. We sneaked into what looked like a study, careful to not show our faces outside, and quietly started drinking. Bored of not being able to speak loudly, we began exploring the house. Soon, C noticed something on the upper part of the wall in the room we were in. There were two small windows high up on the wall, similar to those in a school's music room or gymnasium broadcasting room. Is there a room on the other side? Closer inspection revealed a door on our side, hidden behind a bookshelf. Boosted up, we managed to open one of the windows. In hindsight, we should have been suspicious of the faint foul smell coming through. Our desire to drink stealthily won, and we forced our way into the room through the window. The room reeked of mold and decay, damp as if from a leak. It wasn't a music room, but the walls were covered with homemade soundproofing material under peeling, moisture-warped wallpaper. The room was sparsely furnished, but there was a small desk in a corner with a photo in a large frame, the picture completely blacked out. "A, what's this? It's creepy," said friend A, picking up the frame. The moment he lifted it, a piece of paper fell from behind, spilling a bundle of hair. The paper was a talisman. We were all too shocked to speak. Seeing A's pale face, B urged us to leave. As B climbed towards the window, the wallpaper on that wall peeled off with a whoosh. The same talismans from behind the photo covered the entire wall. "What's this?" C, who gets drunk easily, seemed about to vomit on the spot. "It's bad, really bad. No time to vomit, hurry." As B climbed, D and I pushed his behind, clueless about what was happening. Behind us, someone was making a E sound. It must have been A. He was cursed. The fear was so intense, we couldn't look back. We frantically climbed through, jumping down to the room on the other side. D followed, and as he tried to pull C through from the room side, "Ouch, my leg!" C screamed. "Don't pull my leg." From the other side, A's voice was now a strange, moaning noise. C must have been struggling hard, as we heard his feet kicking against the wall. "B, go get the priest," D shouted backwards. "Something's possessed, A. Run to the shrine and bring the priest." B dashed off the veranda barefoot, and we pulled C through the window. "My leg. Does it hurt?" "It doesn't hurt, but something bit me." Looking, we saw C's sock heel was as if bitten off completely, with a round set of teeth marks, damp with saliva. A's voice continued from inside, but we were too scared to look back through the window. "I wonder if he'll curse me," I murmured. "Cursing? A is still alive," someone replied. "He kicked me like crazy when we were getting out." "Who cares?" A priest in a tracksuit entered with a pale face from the veranda. "What are you fools doing? What have you done, idiots?" B came in with him, his face a mess of tears and snot. "Just go home, you lot. Go out the back and enter the shrine office from the back. Have Yori-san look at you. And you," he suddenly grabbed me, twisting my arm behind my back. Something snapped behind me. "Go on then." He pushed me on the back and we ran off, confused. We went up the mountain behind and to the shrine office, where a middle-aged, petite woman in white was waiting. I felt like we were scolded, but I don't remember much after the relief of escaping. After that, I stopped coming to school. My parents were called to the shrine several times, but they never told me the details. They just warned me never to go behind the mountain. After such a terrifying experience, we had no intention of going near the mountain, and we kept to ourselves at school. On the day the final exams ended, we were called by the disciplinary teacher. Expecting a major scolding for everything up until now, B, D, and I went to the career guidance room. The priest was there. The disciplinary teacher was not. As soon as I entered, the priest said, "C is dead." I couldn't believe it. I only then learned that C hadn't come to school the previous day. He skipped school to check on A, who was tied up here. He should have known better than to visit, without it being a hospital visit. The moment he peeked into the parlor through the back lattice, he screamed and collapsed. When we found him, he was unconscious, eyes rolled back, barely breathing. I was about to retort at such an insensitive way of informing us, but the priest looked at us seriously. "Listen, consider A as no longer with us. Forget about C from now on. It can't see, so it won't attach to someone it doesn't know. If there's anyone who remembers it, no matter how many years it takes, it will come for them. And when it does, they'll die from being possessed. Also, don't grow your hair long at the back. If you encounter it and run away, it will grab your hair first." After hearing this, we left the career guidance room with heavy hearts. The priest had cut off my long hair with scissors at that time. I thought it was just some superstition, but it was far from it. I went straight to the barber and got a buzz cut. Since then, I had to give up on taking over the family business. We went our separate ways for our futures, vowing never to meet again or to act like strangers if we did. I managed to get into a high school in the neighboring prefecture a year later, immersing myself in my new life with short hair. But every time I asked for a buzz cut at the barber, I remembered the priest's words. Wondering if it will come today or tomorrow, I spent those long 3 years. After another year of preparation, I entered a university in another prefecture. But letting my guard down and going home for the Bon Festival was a mistake. I was very close to my grandfather, who had passed away that new year. It was sudden, but my parents had said over the phone that I should at least come back for his first Bon Festival. That was a mistake. At the train station, I stopped to buy a newspaper and saw my middle school girlfriend working there. She burst into tears upon seeing me and blurted out that B and D had both died. B had hanged himself in his room shortly after graduation. He had sealed every door in the room with rain shutters and curtains, further sealing them with his own hair, meticulously attached strand by strand. There were attempts to seal his ears and eyelids with metal, but he hadn't completed these before taking his life. D had fled to Shikoku at the age of 17, but was found walking around Matsuyama in only his underwear, laughing hysterically. The back of D's head looked as if a crow had plucked his hair out. He had tried to cut off his eyelids with a knife, so they would never close. I have never cursed my middle school relationships as much as I did then. The fates of B and D didn't matter to me at that point. It meant I was the only one left who remembered it. Feeling a tightness in my chest, I finally reached home, only to find it empty. I later learned that in my region, due to a tradition called imawashi, families with particularly strong taboos, even the main family, would hold the first Bon Festival in a temple in Nara. I had been brought back for this purpose. For 3 days, I suffered from a fever over 39 degrees Celsius and had to be bedridden at home. During this time, I prepared for death. I laid in the Buddhist altar room, dressed in white, drinking water. On the 3rd night, A appeared in my dream, reduced to skin and bones, blackened with white eyes. "It's just you now." "Yeah, come join us." "No, C wants to see you." "No, if you don't come, C gets beaten every day. Hung upside down, mouth stuffed with socks, and kicked. It's pitiful, isn't it?" "Please, hell isn't so kind." "Haha, hell you say." "Hell is." I woke up then, my throat making a wheezing sound with every breath. By my pillow, my grandfather's memorial tablet was cracked. I thought to myself, if I shared this story with as many people as possible, like I am now, would it decrease the chances of it finding and possessing me? I apologize for the lengthy text, but I believed a brief description wouldn't stick in the reader's memory. Think of this as being bitten by a dog, if you will. If you want to increase your chances of survival, I recommend exposing as many people as possible to this text.